Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Growing and Glowing. This is your boy, Brans.
And your girl wins.
And welcome back. Thank you for tuning in once again to our videos. And obviously, we are not in our usual setting right now due to the circumstances. Due to the circumstances and the weather, we had to, regroup. And here we are in Wendy's new beautiful Mercedes. Congrats to her. She just got
I
it.
manifested that, you
Yes. Oh,
guys. By
yes.
the
We're gonna get
way.
into that. But yes, she got a new beautiful car. Congrats, Wins.
Thank you.
So that's what we're gonna do today. And on today's video, what are we gonna talk about, Keith?
So we're gonna be talking about our healing journeys
Yes.
and like how we got to this point and like what made us get here and just like overall how our healing journey has looked like. And hopefully, you guys can relate. And if not, we'll hopefully you take.
Well, I feel like my healing journey kind of started during like COVID.
Mhm.
Obviously, I feel like because we had entered a pandemic, and it was all new to us,
Mhm.
and messing with all our mental health,
Yeah, definitely.
and that's when I started my healing journey because to me personally, I didn't realize how much of a social person I was and how like attached I was to my everyday routine that once I was cut off of it, like it kind of like threw me off so bad.
Mhm.
And that's where like I kind of like I feel like I couldn't catch a grasp of like my mental health and reality. So I kind of like that's when I was like, you know what, I had to like pull out the white flag and be like, you know what, I need to take a break and
Mhm.
start taking myself more serious. I think we had already graduated, right?
Yeah.
So I was just out of high school, and like obviously I didn't know what like if I wanted to go to school or not, because school I didn't have such a good experience with school that kind of didn't motivate me to keep continuing doing school. But yeah, that's kind of what like started my whole healing journey. What started yours?
I'd say like around the same time
Yeah.
too, like more like college. That's when like it started.
Yes,
Like I ended up going to like Dominguez
I
Hills
remember that.
and like it didn't really work out and it just took like a toll on me and even when I went to community college like it was still taking a toll on me. So then I guess just having like those episodes of like you said like uncertainty of what I'm doing like after high school, like what am I gonna do with my life, and just like
Just serious questions that like
yeah.
excuse me, I'm like really like first gen,
Mhm.
and like obviously I'm an your older sibling,
Yeah,
like we're
yeah.
older siblings, so just questions like these were kind of just like affecting my mental health too.
Same, yeah.
So I can see where you're
Definitely.
coming from that end. And then what like so just that like it started during school or what else like?
Yeah, and I say even before that, like
Mm-hmm.
I've always had like mental like issues like that I've dealt with myself, like mental health issues. I've always tend to like I guess be an overthinker about like everything and since I was a child, like I was very like worrisome. Like I always had a lot of things to worry about and like I guess like my childhood really stemmed from all of that and then
Mm-hmm.
eventually like once we hit like our 20s and we're out of high school, like that all like came out in the light, like
Yes.
and I think so then just this healing journey has been since like has been a long journey, and it's been something that stemmed from my childhood and then like my teen years and all of that. And then just after high school was like kind of like my breaking point,
Mm-hmm.
college and all of that. So that's really where it started. And that by what it started, I mean like that's when I started to see like okay, like I'm not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like right when I started seeing like that was being like very overstressed, like I would get panic attacks, like so many panic attack guys, and it was hard to deal with that shit, especially for someone who like I don't like to tell people that, or like I didn't even
Yeah.
like to tell my partner like, hey, like this has happened to me. Like, I'm a very like closed off person, so
Like you
to
suffer in
me,
silence.
yeah,
Me too.
exactly, yeah. So then like that's when I started realizing like, oh shit, like this is happening more often to me. Like I feel more depressed than usual, and I'm getting to a dark place. So when I started realizing that, like I realized like I don't want to go there. Like I don't want to be this person anymore.
Yeah.
So that's really how my started.
Oh, that's I can relate to that. That's beautiful. Yeah, I can relate to that too. I feel like since they all kind of like you
Mm-hmm.
said, they all stem from like all like the things that happened like as a child,
Yeah.
stemming to now. Obviously, like it's like obviously something that you bought. If you're like shaking a bottle that's like bottled up for so long, like obviously once it releases, it's all gonna come out.
Yeah.
So I feel like yeah, I can relate to that in that sense. And then obviously going forward, like what were like the what was like the first step that you really took that you was like for your mental health?
So then the first step I really took was, I guess, taking accountability. Taking accountability,
Mhm.
knowing that, okay, like I need to change. So then one of the very first steps was I got a therapist.
Yes.
And that really helped me a lot. So I feel like that was really when I like started realizing, okay, like I can do this and you know what, like I'm gonna be better. So how about you?
I feel like for me it was more like I don't know. For me, it was more of a spiritual like theme, because I was like, for me, I kind of saw it from like, like you said, taking accountability, which is what it came down
Mhm.
to me. Like it was me. Like, okay, I knew it was something rooted in with me, so I started taking like the steps. I was like, kind of like therapy, but like in my own way. Like I started journaling. I
Mhm.
started just slowly but surely like just dissociating myself, because I just needed to like recollect my mind, and I just needed to make sure that I was okay. So yeah, like I just started distancing myself, and I started journaling. And me personally, like I just started to look into like doing my own research, because I like to, if I'm gonna do something, I like to do my research, and I like to be 110 into something, or else I won't do it.
Yeah.
That's me. Like honestly, I'll be honest. If I want to do something, I'm gonna go do the 110% and figure out I need to do what I need to do. If I'm not interested, I bet I won't do it. So that's really what it was, that like I had really like hit like rock bottom, I guess you can say.
Mhm.
And it made me like to start taking little steps like that, which was like I said, journaling. I went out and did research, and I started getting into crystals, and I just started doing like small things for myself that took care of me mentally and make
Mhm.
sure I was okay. But most importantly, like you said, I started taking accountability, and just kind of like start asking myself like questions that obviously like I wasn't comfortable asking. And it kind of was just like, yeah, it was just me like just finding
Mhm.
out what really was hurting for me. Because I know, you've known me for so long, and
Yeah.
I'm very like, I know myself very well, and I know like when something is wrong, I just know.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that's really what it was onto me, just feeling and just going the further step of taking care of myself.
Yeah, I love that. That was so beautiful and
Yeah,
well said. And I can definitely relate to that too. Like, for me, like I'm the type of person like I tend to push stuff down and like really like not pay attention to that and like just kind of like it's whatever. It's because I feel like in like the Mexican culture or like a typical
yeah,
one, they don't really see like mental health as like a big issue. And
no,
it's not talked about, right?
yeah,
So then in my family, whenever I was feeling sad or whatever, they'll be like, you're just exaggerating, like you're fine. And it's like, okay, so that's what I learned growing up. Like, you know what? No, like, I'm just being over dramatic. Like, I'll get over it, whatever. It's like people have it worse, blah, blah, blah. And like, that's why like I postponed my healing journey for so long, guys, which is like really bad for you, honestly. Like, I know a lot of cultures are like that, but you have to realize that if you feel something's wrong, it's because something is
it's
wrong. And
wrong.
like,
Yeah,
yes, your problems may not be that big compared to like, world hunger or whatever. Like, yeah, but it's still a problem and it's still
yeah,
your problem and it's still what you're feeling. And you're never going to be okay if you continue to shove all these feelings down. And that was what I was doing a lot. I was like really shoving my shit down. And then like, I just had my breaking point,
mm-hmm.
like I started like just one day like bawling my eyes out and like not being able to take it no more. Like it's just when I realized like, okay, I need a therapist. But even with the therapist, guys, like it's really hard to find a good
Yes,
therapist. Like so hard, guys. And then being someone who doesn't talk about that and then having to talk about it,
it's kind of uncomfortable, huh?
yeah, it's very hard and uncomfortable. And like,
Like I just can't wrap my mind around like telling a stranger like my
yeah.
problems. I'm like, I'm sorry, no
Yeah.
offense to your job and your title,
Yeah.
but that's crazy to me.
Yeah, and like it was still so hard for me like to talk about it. Like sometimes I'll be like, no, I have to have a good day. Like, but like no,
No.
like you can't do that, Like, so then I realized too, like therapy wasn't for me like that, and maybe it wasn't for me. I still don't know. I tried to look at multiple therapists, but they just weren't like getting me, or I felt like I don't know, like I was just kind of like being talked to, but not
Yes.
really being examined
And you
as
know what's
well.
funny? I was put like, and then see that maybe this is why I like when I got older, I didn't really look into therapy. But for me, from like the age of like first grade, I
Mm-hmm.
started going to therapy all the way. So even like
I
freshman
remember
year,
high
like
school,
I
yeah.
literally to freshman
You'll be like, I
year.
have to go to therapy,
No,
guys.
I know. I'd be like crazy, be like, no, I can hang out, yo. I have to go to
uh,
therapy. I'm fucking crazy,
mm-hmm.
I actually know, but
uh,
yeah, like that's why, like for me too, as well, I can relate to that. Like as you with you, like I didn't find that like
yeah.
I appreciated that someone was hearing me out, but it didn't. I couldn't,
Yeah. Yeah.
I just really couldn't.
And that's okay, it's not for
Yeah,
everybody.
it really
And
isn't.
if you don't take that step, you're never gonna know that, right? So then
Yeah,
yeah, like it wasn't really for me. Maybe I haven't found the right one, I don't know,
yeah.
but after that, like actually like I remember Brandon telling me like he would journal and like how he would do like all this stuff, and that's when I was like, okay, you know what, like I hate talking about my feelings like that, like, and I hate
Hmm.
connecting with myself. I don't know why since a child, but I guess it stems from my childhood. Like I never been that type, and like I said, I was always disregarded for the emotions I was feeling.
Hmm.
So it's for me, it's like just shove it aside, like it's okay, you know.
Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like get over it. Like you're a big girl, get over it. Like that's basically how I was raised, you know. So once I realized like, you know what, therapy isn't working for me and I still feel like shit, like I don't know what to do, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I also started journaling. I started, you know, to meditate and to just really like do shadow work with myself.
Yes, and that's what I was trying to mention to earlier. Shadow work.
Oh, love shadow work.
Yes, that's beautiful. And then what else? Just started. You started meditating, journaling, and shadow work.
Yeah, and I feel like those are like the three main ones that helped me. Especially I feel like journaling and shadow work, because like I said, I'm not one to really talk about my feelings. And so once I started doing that, you kind of start to like open up your mind to realize like, okay, why you're actually feeling all this. And shadow work, like you said, makes you like ask questions that you don't really want to ask yourself.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's hard to sometimes like ask the questions, and it's even harder to know the answer, but we all know the answer deep inside. It's just that
Yeah,
you don't want to hear it, like,
crazy.
but sometimes you have to hear it for you to be better. And that's what I started doing. You know, I started asking those hard questions, and I really started to see, okay, like the answer to that. And most of it was like that I had a problem deep inside me, you know, with my past and all this stuff that I was still holding on to. And that's what was really like unhealthy for me, holding on to like this past and like being in that past mindset, and then just coming to terms that you can't change the past, and whatever has happened to you, you know, like it is unfortunate, but you can heal from that, you know,
Yeah,
today on, and become a better person because of it.
definitely. And I feel like that's what my problems stem to from. Like when I was
Mm-hmm.
like started doing my shadow work. Like for me, it was like because of like like my family as well. Like obviously my mom, like she's a strong, like she's just received as a strong woman obviously, and my
Mm-hmm.
whole life I've always seen that, and that's what I was raised with. So obviously like whenever it came down to problems, I would also be like, oh well, I wouldn't really talk about it because I'm like, I can't come to my mom about these problems because like these aren't really problems.
Yeah, like compared to them,
Yeah,
like, you
compared to the
know.
problems that she faced. So I would
Yeah.
be like, no, like I would like in my head, I would like downplay my problems and be like, no,
Mm-hmm.
like I shouldn't probably even have these problems.
Yeah.
Because even times like you too, like even times I would try to mention it, she'd be like, no, like you're strong, like you're obviously like you're the strong one, like you need to be good. Someone's like, okay,
Yeah.
like in the back of my head, I kind of like started telling myself that, and that's obviously not healthy either.
Yeah.
That's not a
Yeah.
healthy like habit to have, to think that just because you're a strong person you can take whatever, or you
Yeah.
can like, you know what I mean,
Or
like,
you
and
shouldn't
that's
feel a certain way, you know,
yes,
like.
exactly. And that's what like kind of like I started like noticing more, that I started doing my shadow work, and it was just basically that's so that I had like a big problem with communicating because
Mm-hmm.
I felt like sometimes things that I did communicate weren't worth communicating.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I
So
get
that's what
you.
like my thing was too. So it's like that's why it's really important for you to like try to do your shadow work. As hard as it is to swallow, like start realizing what like the root of it is.
Yeah.
Because that's what all it comes down to in mental health is realizing what is like your trigger or what is causing the pain, because that's all it is.
Yes.
It's all
Mm-hmm.
like the pain that your mind remembers, and
Yeah.
like that's just keep that in mind. Like it's just you have to go back and know like where this pain came from, or like
Mm-hmm.
is there any way you can try to like make this pain happen, kind of, you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, yes, definitely. And I love how you put that, because yeah, that's all really what it is. Like these feelings are all stemming from somewhere. You know,
Yeah,
it's because something happened to you or someone did something to you that was, it hurt you so much in a way that it's still lingering inside. Even though you think like, oh, this has been years, blah blah blah. Like no, like um and what many people don't know is that your body actually stores emotion.
yeah,
So that's why it's very actually important to like exercise, do yoga, and like just move your body around. Because if you don't, like, from all of that pain, like your body still has it inside and you haven't let it go. So your that's
yeah,
why you still sometimes feel like shit. You feel like depressed some days, some days you're good, you know, this and that. And that was like one of like my issues. Like one day I was good, one day I was like feeling like shit, one day I was so depressed and like.
like it was just hard for you to be like stable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. So shadow work did help me in that sense, you know, getting into the deeper root of what I'm feeling. Really just touch on the subjects I was like hiding. Like, you
yes,
know, and all of that stuff that was really hiding away from and avoiding. But you have to realize that all of that shapes you till this day. You know, like your childhood really shapes you, and traumas, they shape you.
yeah,
And sometimes we don't know how to really let go of the traumas. So yeah, like I love doing that shadow work. And then journaling as well, like it was such a new concept to me. Like I never had journaled in my life. And I will see like little shows, you know, where like they
Yes.
journal, but like they journal like cute shit, like oh today blah blah blah,
Like
or
your
like
diary, like
yeah
type
yeah
vibes, you
stuff
know?
like that. And like that wasn't me.
Yeah, no, me either. Like I thought that was like so like cliche, like oh, like so
Mhm.
corny, like writing down your thoughts.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, for us. But it wasn't until like I actually started doing it, like I was like, and I would read. I would sometimes go back and read it and be like, oh my god, I can't believe that this is where I was. Like in my
Yeah,
head, like you'll
that's
come back and you're
crazy.
thinking like, wow, like 4 days ago, I wasn't that okay.
Yes,
Like damn, that's
yes.
crazy. But like I go back and I'm like, damn, I really like what was I
Yeah.
thinking? What was I going to
Mhm.
this day? But yeah, that's what's really important for you to journal because I feel like when I started journaling, I can like it was put into like book like
Yeah.
perspective like book
Yes.
like okay yeah like there's something wrong with me like
Yeah.
I'm like how did I go from this to this to this
Me.
but yeah that's what really like that's basically like
Yeah.
how I started to like kind of like get a hold of my mental health
Yes. Mhm.
because yeah like it was a lot and then just obviously with like the pandemic
Yeah.
it didn't help a lot that we had to be inside and exposed to a new freaking virus that nobody knew
Mhm.
about.
Yeah, definitely.
And then just personal shit that we have dealt with, like, that fucking whatever it is that we had dealt with. Like it's just on top of that, like it didn't make it any better.
Yeah. No, and I love that you said like about the journey being a cliche and stuff and like that. That was me too. Like I hated it. I like
Right?
I felt so like weird, like just even doing it. But I was like, you know what, get the fuck over it.
Like you
Like
get to a point where like I have no other fucking choice but to do this to see what
yes,
happens. Cause
yes, exactly.
that's basically what jump started and like pushed me into
Mm-hmm.
healing.
Yeah.
What am I gonna lose from doing this? Like
Yes,
from all the
yes.
things I already have lost, like what
Mm-hmm.
more can I lose from
Yeah.
doing this? And you can literally lose nothing. You can only gain from it. Cause I mean, look at us. Like obviously we're not the most stable, but we're getting a hold of it, hang of it. So you have like
That was really beautiful, yes, and that's really what got me into it too. Also,
right,
like, dude, like I tried everything already, you know, like and I'm going in such a dark place. Like, what else? What's one more thing to add to the list? You know,
literally.
like,
What
and
else can
so
hurt? Like
yeah, and like it's not gonna kill me. So I really tried doing that too. And like, if you're someone like who's a beginner in journaling, like here's a tip, like. You don't have to go so deep. Like when you first start, I thought that was my mistake. Like, and I feel like that's why I couldn't do it
mm-hmm.
because I wasn't comfortable like going so deep into it. You know, so
I mean, no one was gonna read it.
exactly,
Oh,
but
like
it's
no
just
one's gonna
me.
read
Like
it.
I don't know why I have to like freaking like I don't know why I'm so scared somebody's gonna read it,
No,
you
me
know?
too.
And
No, I
I'm
know what
like,
you
fuck,
mean.
I'm so panicked. Like I don't know why, but so I actually started by kind of just writing whatever I thought of first.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever came to mind, I started writing like first to help me like ease into
Easy,
it.
uh-huh.
And that's somehow I started, like just writing, and even writing something out makes you feel so much better.
Yeah, literally.
Right? Like if once you like actually like start your journey, you realize just writing out like your simple problem today or what you're gonna do today, it's gonna like build up this other type of confidence and trust in yourself. And that's what it started doing to me. And eventually I was able to journal about the harder stuff. Like just really helped me to reconnect with my higher self and my inner self, because I
Mm-hmm.
was never really like that close to like my own thoughts and all of that.
I love
And
that. And yes, and just a disclaimer, obviously, like when said, if you're a beginner at this, like you don't have to get like it doesn't have to be like a nice notebook. It doesn't
mhm.
have to be written nicely. Like it just has to be something that is yours, and you're able to write your thoughts in, and you're able
Yes.
to just write your thoughts into it, and you're able to just vent into this whatever you have. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
guys, like trust me, my writing is like
not the
chicken
best.
scratch, like literally chicken scratch. I don't even understand it sometimes, but it feels
Yeah,
so good after like I write everything down. Like I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I can understand it, but the fact that I was able to,
write it.
yeah, like pour my thoughts and
Mm-hmm.
everything I'm feeling in that moment, those intense emotions, to put into somewhere that helps
Yes.
instead of shoving that shit down, which is so toxic for you guys. That shit builds up with you, and like just putting it somewhere that's gonna help you so much, and you feel so much better.
Yes, and I always make sure to myself like once I'm writing about whatever I'm going through, if it's good, or bad, like I'm like let this if it's bad, I'd be like let this be the last time I even give this energy or even a thought of this, or if it's good, I'm like let this keep going and keep it coming.
I love
This is
that.
whatever day I'm going to too.
Mm-hmm. That I love that. That's so
Yeah,
cute.
right.
And another thing I do when I journal, which because you brought that up,
Yeah.
such a good tip. So one thing I actually learned from a podcast is that gratefulness is gonna help you so much
Yes.
if you're trying to become a better person. And like in order for you to heal, you have to learn to be grateful for the life you have and for what's
Yes.
around you. So what I started doing recently, a year ago, and I've been doing this for yeah, a year now basically. Um every day I write down like three things I'm grateful for. And it could be anything, guys. Like I'm grateful for my car. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for my friend. I'm grateful
For
for
the breakfast I had, you know?
yeah, literally like this roof over my head, like just stuff like that. Do that every day. Do it. Try it, guys. Just try it for like 30 days straight. You'll see how drastically your mindset's gonna change. And
Yeah.
that's like when I think when I started doing that, plus my affirmations in my journal, my mindset just changed. Like it's like something like just turned off on me, and I had this switch go on, and like the way I started seeing the world, and like the way I started talking, and like just being the type of person I was being, it was like evolving and just became something more beautiful. I started seeing my day by day.
Nice. I love that.
There's no wrong or way to journal. It's just like write whatever it's in your mind, whatever you feel in that moment, just do it. But trust me, like doing that's gonna help you so much. And it helped us. So we're just saying this from experience, not
Yes.
bullshit, not like,
No.
oh, like just, so you could get like with the vibe. No, bitch. Like do it because it's good for you. Like trust me.
Yeah, and like we said, we were once in like skeptical about it. It wasn't
Yeah.
until we actually had to like, do it and we actually found the results like to be like pleasing. Like I was like, I like this. So I started keep doing it. So something won't hurt.
Yes, and I love that. And then also, guys, like when I sing, you don't have to like do like this journal, meditation, workout, whatever it is that you're trying to do to make yourself better every day. Like know that it's okay to miss a day.
Yes, correct.
Don't ever like feel bad because you're not being consistent with your journey, because it's okay. Like we have all mentioned before, like we're imperfect, and that's okay to miss a day, but as long as you're trying every day
Yes.
in your own way to, be better in some kind of way, then you're fine. Just be proud of those little
Yeah.
milestones that you're doing.
Exactly. And remember that you only fail when you give up. That's really
Yes.
only when you fail, like when you give up. And you never fail from not giving up. Exactly. So
I
never give
love
up,
that.
y'all. Yes, and now into moving on to other topics about our healing journey. So we covered the therapy, journaling, like not moving into like more like physical things. Like
Mhm.
what are things that you did for your mental health that helped you? Like for me, when I first started everything, I'm weird because I like to like just know things. So I had scheduled a
Mhm.
doctor's appointment, and they had told me that I was low on iron.
Oh.
So from then on, I started taking more like vitamins,
Mm.
and
So good
I
for
still
you.
do it. Like I don't take as many as I did when I first started because I took a lot.
You had like a whole little case. I
I
remember. I
did.
remember. Oh my
I was
god.
like a grandpa. I literally had like a big case.
I
It had
remember.
2 fish oil, magnesium, all
Mhm.
like my like basically like 6 pills, right? But yeah, basically what I did physically to start helping me because I was lacking some vitamins, and also that could be a part of what's help like making it worse for you. You're lacking in some type of vitamin,
Yes. Mhm.
so it doesn't hurt. So obviously, if you have like if you're covered, you have insurance, I would gladly go get checked out. Maybe you're missing a vitamin or
Yes.
something. I also started drinking. I remember a lot of like green, like super green smoothies. Like
Mm.
I started making my own smoothies. I used to put like pineapple, like all like
Yeah.
the green stuff that you would have to put in
Yeah.
a green smoothie. And I started just like my whole like eating healthier journey and my working out journey.
Yeah. No, I love that, and I love that you mentioned all that, because like, um, your physical being also goes into a lot about like why you're feeling how you're feeling.
Yeah, like it's like food for thought, kind of.
Yes. Exactly.
What you're feeding your body is how you're gonna project or how you're gonna keep it running.
Yeah, because your body, it says a lot about you, and like your body really just it speaks for itself. And I mentioned this so much in like so many episodes. Like it literally tells you what it needs. So like sometimes I'd be breaking out a lot because like Brian said, like I'm lacking a certain thing too. So like that's why if you're somebody who's like trying to go like on their like skin journey, like really look into what you're feeding your body is going to help you like get that beautiful glowing skin,
Yeah.
and just like if you just start eating better, you physically feel healthier. Like it's a
Yes.
fact. We all know this, like compared to eating burgers every day, you're not gonna feel
Yeah.
your best, like that drains so much energy out of you, compared to as like eating something healthy like a chicken salad or something like that's literally gonna bring out so much energy.
Yeah.
And just like
And keep you like more full and just I don't know, like I just after I have like a good meal, I have my water and like I'm just basically like feel good. Like I feel good about myself.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I started kind of like being more important of what I put inside my body and just be more like look at things twice, kind of.
Yes, exactly. And that's really gonna help you guys a lot. So I definitely recommend, do your brands daily, really feeding your body healthy things, because that's gonna contribute to a healthy mind.
Yes.
And I guess like what I started doing physically, I really started taking the gym seriously.
Hmm.
That's when I really started like, okay, like not just going to work out, but to like actually I guess work out in a sense where like I had a strict routine. So like I actually started figuring out how this machine works. You know, I started to do like my actual routines every day, and also like getting my protein in. And I bought some vitamins too because the brand over here was like glowing with his vitamins and
Yes.
showing off. And I was like, you
I'm
know
sorry.
what? I was all like, period. No, but he was looking really
Right?
good,
I
and
don't
like
think
you
you're
can
kidding.
tell by like someone's like skin and like everything like how like it affects them. And so then I started getting like my little
Yeah.
vitamins, you know,
I
and
remember I
that
would tell you like buy your stuff, buy your
yeah,
stuff, buy
yeah,
your skincare.
definitely. And yeah, I did, you know. So
Right.
that really helped me a lot too, you know, like the skincare, you know, feeding my body healthy things. So I'm cutting out like sodas. I just started drinking like pure water, just like helped me a lot. And yeah, like I physically felt better, which contributes to like my mental health. Like I
Mm-hmm.
started because like we've said it before too, like if you look good, you're
You're gonna
going to
feel
feel
good.
good.
Yeah.
Like, and that is just I can't stress how important that is, guys. Like,
Yes.
and we can all achieve that. It's just about like the discipline and like how badly do you want
Yes,
this.
exactly. Like how bad and consistent you can be with it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I feel like I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I feel like for like I would help you. I feel like yeah, I saw like a change in your mental health too was when you started like being more like pampering yourself more.
Yes. Oh
Like,
my
do you want
god.
to talk about
Yes.
that?
Yes. Okay,
Like,
guys. So I love that you brought that. Oh my
yeah,
god. Not you putting me in the
I know.
spot.
I thought you were gonna
Ah!
talk about it earlier, and I just get. How did that like help you mentally? Because I did see a change when you started like more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree that too. So like little backstory, like for me, I never like yeah, I would get ready here and there, but I was never really like that girly type to always look good and like worry about my hair. And I was for a point when I was younger, but I feel like once I started getting to like my depressive state and like
Mm-hmm.
all this shit started getting to me, I kind of stopped caring about like what I would wear, about what like about my appearance
Experience.
overall. You know, I stopped kind of like caring. But once my healing journey started, like I realized like I have to look good to feel good. So then I started like doing my makeup. I started like doing new hairstyles. Like I
Yes.
started like to get rid of all my black clothes because all my clothes was black, guys, in my
me,
closet.
me right now. That's what I'm struggling with right now.
Oh my god, no, but like it was just so funny. Like I just had like all these like baggy shirts and like all this stuff that I didn't make me feel like my best self.
Mhm.
Like yes, I feel comfortable in it, but it wasn't like I was like really truly being my best self. So like once I did start kind of like changing my wardrobe and like focusing on my skincare and like caring about my appearance, that affected me so much. Like my confidence went from like literally 0 to 100. Like literally, I would walk in the room like with my head held high. Like
Yes.
I started getting so many compliments at work. You remember this one girl? She literally told me, she was one of the managers. Like as soon as you walked in the room, she's like, "There's just something about you," and I was like, what? And then he's
Wow.
like, yeah, like I don't know, like it's just something about you, like when you walk in the room, the way you portray yourself, like it's just like the way she said it made me feel so good.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like this really does work. And so yeah, I wouldn't go now to work without doing my hair, like without having my bun or whatever. Like I wouldn't go to work like that no more. So that really helped me with my overall confidence.
Yes, I love that. Yes, and I can testify. I remember seeing that.
Oh,
I did see your change, and it was
thank
fucking
you.
cute. Cause
Aw.
you've always been a kid as bitch.
Aw, thanks.
But yes, and
You too.
honestly, oh, thank you. Yeah, and I can see that too. Cause obviously, with me, like I've always been like a skincare person. Cause me, like I need to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Like I really like to just take care of myself, and like yeah, like I get like such a relief from like doing like my skincare, especially like something about like doing like my full like
Mm-hmm.
skincare routine. Like
Yes.
I get such like a high from it. Like I come down, I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to be in bed and just lay there, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see how that helps you. Are there other things that you want to or talk about that help you with or help with the mental health?
I think for me that's it. How
Yeah.
about you? Anything
For
that you feel?
me, my eating habits too. I'm a binge eater, so if I like allow myself like a binge eater is like, let me explain to people who don't know. A binge eater is someone who like it's like an eating disorder kind of. Well, it is
Yeah.
an eating disorder,
Yeah, it's a eating
and it's
disorder.
like kind of like your mind doesn't know when you're full in a like sense. So like if
Yeah.
you give me like a big bag of chips before, I would just literally go through the entire bag if you let me. So like obviously with me, like it was kind of like I had to learn how to kind of like control that
Mhm.
in a sense because it started like affecting me in like my weight, you know, like my biggest like I got to was like 280. So obviously like that's not healthy. So obviously cutting back and really just having like a big scare because remember when I got like sick and had to get my stomach pumped,
Yeah.
like it was
Yes.
just like from all like the scary experiences and all the bad experiences I had, like kind of like it was taking like a bad toll on my mental health, and it started
Mhm.
showing on my skin too. So obviously like I didn't like that it was like showing or it started showing on the outside.
Mhm.
So I started like making it like my job to like enforce my discipline, and when it came to that And fast forward to now, like I can say that that was a big part of like my mental health, because obviously like all like the junk food, all like the bad stuff I was eating wasn't
Yeah.
helping, you know. If you're someone who struggles with that, like, excuse me, there is a way for you to change. You just have to really discipline yourself, and it just really comes down to how bad you want to, you know,
Yes.
fix or change your
Mm-hmm.
mental health.
Eating like really is going to affect your
Yeah.
mental health because like you don't know like what substances are being put in like the fast food shit that you're eating. Like you
Yeah.
really don't know. And like all these chemicals and all that's gonna drain like your body of so much nutrients
Yeah.
that it needs. And
Yeah.
your body needs healthy nutrients. Like there's a reason like why God put like all these amazing like vegetables and like fruits and like natural
Fruits.
foods for you. Like they're
Yes.
gonna help you so much. And just really pay attention to what you're feeding your body.
Crazy to see how much people suffer with it without even noticing too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy, which is why it's important for, like, you know, if you're struggling with that, to try to like find help and take it that extra step to take care of yourself in that sense, because that can affect you like real
Yeah.
bad.
No, yes, definitely. And like one thing to say like about your like your journey, I want to say that is that I did see like you're definitely grow your glow too.
Yeah.
Like right when you started like caring so much about like your skin and like just like your
Oh.
overall like what you're eating and like that's what
Yeah.
like his glow inspired
Oh,
me.
you're
Like
so
that's what
cute.
really inspired me. And I always be like, Brands, like your face looks so good, or like Brands, like you're looking so
Oh.
good, and like just the way like you've always been like a confident person, and I
Yeah.
always admired that
Oh,
about
thank you. You're
him.
so cute.
Like but even more like your confidence just like starts driving so much more like when you really start your journey, and that's like what really inspired me too.
Yes.
And I was like if you can do it I can do it
No,
too,
yeah, definitely.
like
And I fucking love that, because I'm like, I've always been a person who, like, once I started to see results, I kind of like started telling you too, like, oh my god, like,
yes.
yes, do this,
Mm-hmm.
like even with like the crystals, I'm like, get crystals, bitch, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, it's not gonna hurt you. Even with like with my friend Carla too, like, I would push her into like, oh no, like, do this, and like prior to now, like, obviously, like, I got both my besties into that, and that's what I because it's about, you know, it's
Mm-hmm.
about helping each other grow and glow as like humans, because I feel like that's
Yeah.
not talked about much, you know.
And we need more of that, guys.
Yes.
We really need more of that. Like, there's so many other videos you guys can be watching right now, and it's like more like a waste of time because
Yes.
like you're watching something that's also like you're not feeding your brain healthy stuff. Like your brain needs to hear like good things for you to like
Yeah.
prosper and for you to be a better person. And that's all we want. Like we're sharing like our experiences and we want to share like what we know so that you're able to also like glow with us and just
Yes.
be your overall best self because I
Exactly.
don't want to see anybody, in the state that I ever was in. Like
Exactly.
I wouldn't wish that upon anyone, and I know suffering like on a deep level, and it's just
Not a good thing. And
yeah.
we all deserve to thrive, honestly. We all deserve to
Mm-hmm.
live the life that we desire.
Yes, exactly.
It's not a comfortable or easy subject to talk about. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like not everybody's comfortable about it, but yes, like, it's really important for you to like take care of yourself mentally so you can thrive. Because thinking back to it now, like, that was stopping me a lot from like a lot of my things, because I'm coming back to like, you know, working
Yeah.
out. Like, if I didn't like start earlier, like, I feel like it would have helped me more, you know.
Yeah, same, same. But what's important is that we got on the journey.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's, like one thing to stress about. Like you can look back and be like, oh, I should have done this earlier, or like if I could have just this and that. Like, yeah, but it's never too late to start.
Exactly.
So if we started now and we're
Yes.
feeling our best selves and we still have so much more to grow,
Exactly. Yes.
just start. Just start
Yeah.
today. It doesn't matter, how much you missed out on. Just do it, and you'll feel so
Exactly.
much better, guys.
This we're ending our video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we could only hope that we kickstarted something inside of you for you to start your healing journey and start taking care of your beautiful self, because that's what you deserve.
And with that, we hope you keep growing
Growing
and
and glowing.
glowing. Bye.
Bye.